Hi, everybody. Welcome back and thank you for your patience. Guys, welcome back for Hot Messy Topics. It feels so good to get back into the groove, to know that we have our lives back. This is the second time this week that we have Kim from Bravo Breaking News, but our Jersey recaps, Vanderpump Rules, Hot Messy. We're getting settled, situated, and things are coming back to life, which feels absolutely amazing. Now, before we welcome our very special guest, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, pop off in the live chat, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed, and let's welcome Kim. Hello.
Hi, everyone. Happy Hot Messy Friday.
Happy Hot Messy Friday. My gosh, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You know, I'm glad it's Friday. I think I speak for the people when I say I'm glad the weekend's here. How about you?
I'm so happy the weekend's here. You know, I've had my mother-in-law in town, my mom, and then my dad and my stepmom, and it's just been like, we've had so many people kind of coming and going, which everybody's been so helpful. We could not have done the move without it. Now I'm just kind of feeling like when everybody leaves, it's like when adults get rid of their kids or something. I'm going to be in this house like, what do I do?
I know. It's like I'm always stressed when there's too much going on, but then I'm also unhappy when there's not enough going on.
Yeah.
So you have to find that like middle ground.
Yeah, I don't know if that exists, but listen, we have a lot to go over today, guys. From Vanderpump Rules to the Valley to the Real Housewives of Orange County, Beverly Hills, New Jersey, and Atlanta. I don't even know where we should start, but I do know that we should start. Where do you want to just get into the Vanderpump Rules of it first?
Oh, of course. I mean, that's always a good place to start.
I like it. All right. So Dumas came out and confirmed pretty much saying that they have heard from multiple sources and that these sources are pretty credible that this actually has been an affair. That Jax Taylor has been hooking up with his shared publicist, with his estranged wife, Brittany, Lori. Do you believe it? Or do you not?
mean, if Jax's past is any indication, yes. But I mean, even Brittany, was it on Watch What Happens Live or other interviews, she has been so, adamant that there was no infidelity, that cheating was not the reason why they split. I don't know if maybe it happened after she left, he started hooking up, maybe there's like some, minute details, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like Brittany would come out and say it.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, she didn't have a problem having that whole meltdown when it came to everything that happened with Faith. So I could see where Brittany would call him out, and also look how it's done for Ariana. You know, I'm not saying that it would be the same reaction, but also though I look at Brittany and I could see where she would want to protect her son and maybe not want this out there. So I look at both sides, but somebody did say, if you're not getting it at home, then he might be out getting it somewhere else. And I was like, oh, that's such a dirty way to word it, I feel. But it is Jax Taylor.
I know. I mean, once a cheater, always a cheater. They say that. And if any man isn't going to change his ways, I'm pretty sure it's Jax Taylor. And, I mean, we saw it with Kyle and Mauricio too. I mean, it's kind of clear at this point that there was maybe infidelity at some point in their marriage. I mean, there's too many rumors going on for there not to be, but Kyle isn't coming out with it, probably for the sake of her children and their relationship with her father. So maybe their father. So maybe Brittany kind of has the same mentality.
Mm-hmm. I even think that there might have been something that happened between Dorit and PK. And I also think that that would be another situation where they would want to protect reputations. And I'm not saying that anybody cheated. I'm saying that the man has been living in a hotel. He's been, he's used to the party life. He's used to kind of getting what he wants. He has explained that before in interviews where he used to drop hundreds of thousands of dollars at tables, and he was a part of this whole life. So can you fly under the radar at the Beverly Hills Hotel? Can you all of a sudden just show up, have somebody there, throw a tip under the, whatever to the bell person? You never saw this person, and then watch your cameras at home, your surveillance cameras and your Ring camera to see if your wife potentially leaves, and then you kick this woman out of your bed because you know she's headed to the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Probably. That sounds doable, Adam. It definitely does.
I think this is just making up a scenario in my head.
I mean, I think it's valid. I think it's valid. I never wish this on anybody, but yeah, I don't know. Though I will say, Dumois, while they're usually right, they have been wrong before.
Yes,
They did say that, Rachel and Ariana and Tom were in a throuple together, and that's what started this all. So I don't know. There's
fair.
still, an inkling of doubt. Um, However, I do think that the truth will come out in due time.
Right. And we still need the jury on this one, I guess we'll say.
Yeah.
All right. So now from that, Jax also made a statement saying, I don't want any of the Vanderpump Rules cast on my show. It's not fair to the current cast. I don't want them on my show. But we heard rumors that Lala Kent could potentially be joining the cast of The Valley. And to be fair, it is not Jax Taylor's show. Bravo, NBC, they can override and do whatever they want. You know what's funny? And I don't know if a lot of people know this. Back after season 2 of Vanderpump Rules, that kind of got to the point going into season 3 where Lisa Vanderpump lost control a little bit. And when she didn't want certain people around, like nickname Crazy Kristen or whoever, she didn't want them she didn't want to be around them, whatever. It wasn't her decision anymore at that point to fire them from the show. That was a bigger decision being made at bigger tables. You already brought her in. You can fire her from your restaurant, but she's here. And the same thing goes for Jax. Like, if Jax turns around tomorrow and says, I hate you, Janet's going to be like, great. I'll see you at dinner at 7. Or no,
Yeah, no. I mean, if Teresa Giudice doesn't have that kind of pull and say, Melissa Gorga's still on the show, I don't think Jax Taylor does either. I don't think he has any, right over the cast or who comes back, who doesn't, even though I guess he is an executive producer of the show. But that means nothing when it comes to casting. So I definitely think that he can voice his opinion all he wants, but it really doesn't matter.
I agree. Okay. Leslie said, is Adam now living in Florida or South Carolina? I am in Charleston now. And hopefully we are staying for now.
We love it.
Yeah. 3 moves, 1 year, guys. He's tired as hell.
He's
and no
tired.
more. Yes. We're relaxing. Now, back to it. Okay. So do you agree with Jax Taylor's statement that bringing people over from Vanderpump Rules could potentially give us the same sort of concept as the original show? Like, would this ruin it for the viewers? Should it just be left alone with the 3 former castmates and then the rest of the friends? Let's not add the Vanderpump Rules people. Or you're like, no, Sheena and Lala very much so makes sense for this show.
I'm split, I think, because I see both sides. I think the Valley as it is incredible. I think the casting is incredible. I think it's a good mix of veterans and then like newbies in the reality TV space. So we get that kind of, they've been around this group for a while, like friends like Janet and Zach and everything. So they know how it works. But I do like that, we have that mix. I think bringing in more veterans to the show, especially Lala, who this week has proven that she will go to any length to kind of create drama and controversy and all of that. I think it could kind of make the show a little bit less authentic. I kind of like the authenticity that is like a season 1 new show with new cast members. So
I also think that she could be a little heavy.
yeah, I mean, it does make sense though for her where she's at in life. Of course, she's gonna have a new baby. She's gonna be raising it in the Valley, so she is kind of more on the life path of the Valley cast members, obviously. But I'm split. I don't know. What do you think?
I think that, well, one, let me just address this really quick. Pamela B, thank you for the super chat. The new studio is looking good. Thank you. I just put filler things and I'm adding lights later. We're gonna get it together. Don't worry, but thank you. I think as far as Lala goes, do you remember that movie, What to Expect When Expecting?
I mean, maybe.
Jennifer Lopez was in it. There was like a bunch of stars, Cameron Diaz, and they were all going through different baby journeys. One was adopting, one unfortunately lost a baby, one was giving birth. it was just like all over the place and showing these different journeys. And I think that that is sort of interesting to see Lala's journey play out on the Valley, because it is very different than what the rest of the cast members, how they've conceived. However, I do feel as though Lala is kind of like a Jennifer Aniston, in the sense that Jennifer Aniston is the same in every movie that you watch. She's always playing like a similar character, and I love her for that. But Lala is very aggressive. And I don't know if this cast, like, I just don't know what that mix would be. I know she's friends with them, but she's not going to be friends with them after they start filming, because she's not going to be the same Lala.
You're so right. I mean, Kristen versus Lala, oof, that could be tough to watch. And Janet is kind of rising to the top of mean girl drama status. So yeah, that would be interesting to watch. I don't know. I don't really know where these people go. I don't know where the future of Vanderpump Rules is going. I understand that the Valley is like a natural transition as these people start to grow up and have families and everything. So maybe it could work, but I still have my doubts. I have my doubts right now.
Yeah. Okay. No, that makes sense. Also, did you see where Ariana did an online poll recently, and she was asked, would you come back for Vanderpump Rules season 12 if it comes back, or what do you think of the show? And she said, it's done.
I didn't see that. Oh my gosh.
She
It's
said
done.
She said it's done. And then Sheena read it out on her podcast, and Sheena came back and was like, like, good for her. I'm glad that she's doing Chicago and she's about to host Love Island. But if you don't want to be a part of this anymore, then leave. As for like Lala and I, this is how we feed our families. This is, our life is the show. The show is our life. And like, if you don't want to be a part of that, I'm sure you have a ton of other amazing opportunities, but don't try to like trash the show on your way out. And I was like, I don't think that she is trashing the show. I think she's just saying the show's kind of run its course, in her opinion.
I think so. I think saying it's done could probably mean like she's done. So I don't think that, she's like, it's done, it's over for me, type of thing. Not like in general for everybody else. Like, again, Ariana doesn't really have any control over who comes back and who doesn't, except for her own self. So if she's saying that it's done, it probably means that she's done. She's over it. She's moving on, which I don't blame her.
I don't blame her either, because that Love Island paycheck is going to be fat. Okay, why can Janet and Michelle, who are the hashtag mean girls, shut out Kristen out of filming with them, but Ariana needs to film with the snake? Hashtag hypocrisy. And also thank you, Sergio. I think for Ariana, she had a great point. I had that conversation with him. I said, this is the last conversation I'm going to have with him. Had the opportunity to say everything he wanted to say on that couch. And then she negotiated in her contract that she doesn't have to be in a situation that makes her feel uncomfortable, and she doesn't have to film with him. That was her contract. I think when they all say, like, she messed up and, that was such a slap in the face to all of us, it's like, we've seen this on Housewives multiple times. We saw Stassi Schroeder walk out from a finale party. We've seen it. It's not like we're not reinventing the wheel, and it's nothing worse than like what a lot of them have done. And also Lala quit the show like right at the end of the show, and then came back in the middle of another season, disappeared from SUR, went to Salt Lake City, and was to never be heard of or from again. So you guys all do it.
I know. I feel like it's a double standard at this point. And we, like you said, we see this all the time on these shows. I don't think that we're never going to see Janet and Kristen filming together ever again, though, on the Valley. Like, this is like a spat. They're in a fight. We're going to see them together. They're going to hash it out. I feel like this is such a small issue, whereas Ariana and Tom, it's definitely a bigger issue. I don't really think you can compare the two. So I just think it's like a different situation. And I do think that we'll see, I think that they're allowed to not invite people on their cash trips or to their events and parties and stuff. We see that all the time. So yeah. I think that Ariana and Tom, there's no way they're going to make up. But I think that Kristen and Janet, I think they're going to make up, in time on the show.
Well, speaking of Kristen and Janet, there was a little clip, thank you to Bywig Hello Drama. They posted the clip of Janet talking about her baby. Now, I'm not going to play the whole clip. I'm not even going to play the clip. I'm just going to screen share with you guys so you can see the comments. But long story short, she was talking about her baby, and the reason that she made some of the decisions that she did while filming. She wanted to keep people away from her that she felt maybe wouldn't be conducive to a healthy environment for her and her pregnant well-being. So that is why she took them out of the trip. And she also said, on top of that, I would have done the same thing if we were or were not filming. She also ended it off with saying, right now, I want people who want the best for my baby's well-being. And I don't think Zach and Kristen are those people. So Kristen ended up commenting, and then Janet commented with something that, if this is in fact true and somebody provides some sort of receipt on this, Zach Wickham will be canceled. Hold on. So let me just, Kristen Doty said, I had a fucking pregnancy loss. I would never in a million years say something like that. Wait for me to post the text where I asked her about her pregnancy, including when she texted me the baby's first heartbeat. And oh yeah, I was at her gender reveal. This is revolting. Janet said, Kristen Doty, it is absolutely revolting that your BFF Zach said out loud that he was hoping that I would miscarry and take my own life this summer. All of our friends and castmates were aware of what he said and reached out expressing how disgusted they were by Zach's death wish upon my unborn child, except for you. Glad to hear now that you find his comments as revolting as everyone else does.
Yeah, I might need to backtrack where I said they might make up in due time, because I'm not sure you can come back from something like that. If that's true, it's revolting, it's disgusting. You know, I don't know. Do you think that we'll see this play out on the show, or do you think that this is?
Oh yeah, they start filming next month. So if this is coming up now, it's going to be on the show.
Yeah.
I mean, and also, if you said some stupid, ignorant comment like that, whether you were mad or not, unfortunately, or fortunately, we live in a world where we have to be held accountable for things, and we all have to do it. And it sounds like things were happening. He was feeling a little bit left out. He was probably in his feelings. He feels like the rest of the group, they are main. He is a sub employee, friend of, whatever you want to call him. And again, I'm sure that he was taken out of a situation and he got hurt in his feelings. And that's probably why he allegedly said this, if in fact it is true.
And he said this simply because he didn't get invited to Big Bear. Like, I thought that his reaction at Kristen's James May event was overreacting to begin with, and this is taking it way further than it ever should go. So I don't know. It's like Pamela B says, it's unacceptable. Absolutely
unacceptable.
Yep.
Krista Schaefer said, why are we wishing death on anyone? Lord. I agree. Yeah. That comment was disgusting. Right, Kristen, people who don't know LA just think it's the Valley. It's not. That fool needs to chill because karma is a bitch. Okay. Well, moving on. Not trying to upset everybody. You're like, well, good job at that. If you guys were wondering what's going on with something about her, just since I'm in the screen sharing mode and it's right here, I'm just going to show you guys this really quick. This is the menu. Not going to play the audio, but you can see a little bio on them. Their sandwiches are on the left. I'm sure Kim will be there soon enough. Drinks are on the right. There's little snacks in the middle. Kim.
Yes.
When I first moved to LA, I was on a Subway kick. And I would go get my mom and I 2 footlongs with 2 drinks and 2 bags of Cool Ranch Doritos. It was kind of like my diet for a minute. I would always spend about $31. Now, these sandwiches are $14 to $18 plus the drinks. People are saying that these are way too expensive for sandwiches. Thoughts?
It's LA, guys. I mean, you can go to Erewhon and spend $45 on a smoothie. The prices don't faze me. I also posted the menu on Instagram and people were outraged, especially about the $8 peanut butter and jelly. I think that's where people were drawing the line. For one, am not going to go there and order a peanut butter and jelly. But
yeah, but it's for the babies.
Yeah, that's true for the kids. And there's a grilled cheese as well. So
For 13.
I Yes. So I don't know. The prices don't phase me. I would pay $50 for a sandwich. It's something about her. That's just who I am. I love Katie and Ariana. I have been waiting for this for 2 years. I will be there on opening day. So make sure you guys are following me on Instagram at Bravo Breaking News because I will be posting all about it. I'm hoping Ariana and Katie will be there too.
Oh, I'm sure
I'm
they'll.
excited. I'm excited. I mean, me and my friends were talking about the menu last night and we're like, I don't know, we kind of have to order like one of everything because they all like sound so delicious. So I don't know. I will report back and let you guys know if it's actually worth the price and the hype.
Do you think if they expand, Chef Penny will go after them legally for her 10% that she feels entitled to?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I don't know where they stand with Penny right now. We've heard a lot about, how she owns the trademark and I don't really know how expansion affects that. But I would hope that they could I think that Katie and Ariana are smart enough to resolve any issues they might have with Penny before they expand the business. So I would think that they're like 2 steps ahead.
Okay. I mean, you would hope so. And then I guess we should move on. Back just for a second. When I was talking to you earlier about PK and Dorit, right? So we know that right now, obviously, they're going through their split and everybody's wondering what's going on. Kyle Richards says that Dorit's going to have a few things to answer for this season. Do you think that right now she's just like rolling over, like, you wanted to go after me last season? I could have been an ally. Do you remember how you treated me? Welcome back.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that I don't know. I don't think that Kyle is going to think negatively about what she's going through with PK since she was going through it with Mauricio. However, I think that leaking that text on the reunion last year is definitely going to come back and bite Dorit in the ass. I think that while she'll feel for her regarding her split, I don't think she's going to let her get away with what she did at the reunion last year, calling Kyle out and leaking that entire text and spinning it around on Kyle. So I think we have a feud brewing this season between them. And I think it's going to be emotionally tough for both of them because they're both going through the same thing. They can relate to each other, but they're still at odds. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out between them.
If I were Kyle, and I know that they say be the better person, I get that, guys. But if I were Kyle, I would definitely make Dorit grovel for a minute at least and be like, I mean, I would be like, I get it. You're going through a hard time. And you guys have to think about it too. Dorit being single and Kyle being single, they're two totally different things. Like PK just caught up on his debt, I'm pretty sure, his gambling debt and all of that. And you know that there have been more debts that have been talked about and other things that they might owe money on. And for Dorit, she has an expensive life. And if PK is out of that life and she gets kicked off the show, who's paying for that expensive life? Because it's not going to be Dorit. Whereas, like, if Kyle and Mauricio end up getting a divorce, she's got half of a very, very expensive company.
Yep. Yeah, no, you're right about that. Yeah, I definitely think that I called this. I knew Dorit would come clean about her and PK's relationship in order to stay on the show because she needs this show, especially if she's going to be a single mom. She needs that financial backing. She needs that paycheck. So, I'm not surprised that she chose to kind of come clean about it. But yeah, no, I think that Kyle's going to hold her to the fire, but I do think that they'll eventually make up. I mean, we did see, I don't know if you saw, there was like a photo of them at Sutton's party filming together, Kyle and Dorit. So they're already sitting down and talking to each other. I think maybe the first few episodes will be kind of tough between them, but I don't know. I see them making up. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Well, I also think, I saw somebody speculate that because PK was filming with Mauricio, and somebody speculated that maybe PK is filming with or for Dorit in order for her to keep this spot. Also, because if she has a job, then she can't most likely collect alimony. which would be very smart of him if that is the route that he is taking. I don't know yet, though. I don't know. The guy has to have some sort of money because the Beverly Hills Hotel for months is not cheap.
Not cheap at all. Yeah. Somebody in my comments called Dorit and Mo the new Tom Tom. They're like, single divorcees running amok in LA, still on the show with their exes. I don't know. I can't help but say it's kind of true.
It's kind of true. Okay. I mean, listen, ladies, we will be watching for you. Even Lisa Rinna threw a little bit of shade saying, still standing strong with my man, Harry Hamlin. Not you guys.
I did see somebody post that, though I'm still blocked by Lisa Rinna, so can't see it for myself.
I wish I was blocked by Lisa Rinna, so don't worry. Actually, you know what? I got to give it to Lisa Rinna. Lisa Rinna's been doing damn good out there for herself. So I like a hustler. Lisa Rinna's a hustler, so we will leave you alone. Now, I know that you and I talked Jersey at the beginning of this week. I have some questions. Because of all of the legal stuff that is still going down, first of all, let's kind of just like take it back. Last season, Margaret Josephs called for a meeting of the minds before the reunion, right? And they wanted to talk about everything that was going on because they were all made aware that they were being investigated by a PI who turned out to be Bo Dietl. So from that point, Margaret was talking about how, listen, this guy called my son at work, blah, blah, blah. And Teresa was like, I swear on my daughters, it didn't happen. Well, now it came out because Vanessa Reiser is still currently going after him. That is his ex, for those of you guys who don't know. And she confirmed, her lawyers confirmed, that in his latest testimony in court, that not only did he send 2 undercover agents to Vanessa's work to collect information and potentially harass her, but also that he agreed and admitted to these claims against him in the court of law. So Teresa's over here swearing things didn't happen. He's over here admitting that things happened. And now I'm wondering, what the hell is happening? Like, is this not illegal to something? The agents are getting in trouble. They have trials. If agent A and agent B, if these 2 ladies are now going to be on trial over being sent into Vanessa's psychotherapy office for women who deal with narcissistic abuse, doesn't that mean Bo Dietl and Louis Ruelas would get in trouble or no?
I don't know, Adam. This is so messy. And I just can't help but wonder why. Teresa, you already spent a year in jail. Your ex-husband went to jail for what, 4 or 5 years for breaking the law. If there is, with your new husband, new legal issues arising, he's in court, he has to testify, I would be 2,000 miles away in 2 seconds after I heard that. Why is she still sticking around when there are legal issues being brought up again and again? This guy is a walking red flag. We give him chances time and time again, but things keep coming up that make him look more guilty. And I can't see past that. And I don't know how Teresa can at this point either. Does she want to end up in jail again? Does she want a husband to end up in jail again?
I think that people sometimes have the ability to see the positive or good in something or somebody. And when they keep telling them, listen, I have it under control, or listen, it's not what you think, or listen, it's like you chose to spend your life with that person. So you do have a massive element of trust within that person. And I think if I have this right, she is really convincing herself and doing a damn good job of it that everything is just good. There's not an issue here. Like, life's good. My daughters are good. My money is good. Rachel Fuda says her money's not good, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I want Teresa to be happy. I want her daughters to be safe. And I just don't. I think that this is all going to blow up. I really do. I think that there's too much behind it. I don't know if it's going to lead to jail time or anything, but oh, this is so messy and it's so dark. Like we watch Housewives to kind of laugh and see these women, of course they get in these petty fights and stuff, but it's getting really dark. Families are involved, exes are involved, the law is involved. It's real dark, Adam. I don't know how much more I can handle this from Jersey.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, I think that this is going to be a great season of Jersey. I do agree things have gotten a little bit more dark. And I think after this season, I think somebody has to go. I don't think that the newbies, even though I know I said I'd give them some time, I don't think that they're going to be the shoe fillers for the main cast. But I do feel like whether it's Teresa or Melissa, just the awkward divide. And it seems like Teresa is the common denominator at this point. Like the cast agrees that they don't want her to be a part of it. I just don't know what New Jersey would look like without Teresa. And I think that it would turn out to be one of those situations where everybody wanted Lisa Rinna off the show. And then we got Lisa Rinna off the show. And then we were like, oh, wait a minute. We want Rinna back. And I think they would do the same thing with Teresa.
I think that Teresa is New Jersey, whether you like her or not. She is the epitome of the show. So I don't know. I'm not sure where we go without her. Is there like a reboot? I don't know. I don't know. I definitely don't think, I'm sorry, no offense, that Melissa could carry this show. So I don't know. It's really tough for me to choose sides. Like I said in our recap, like I don't know who to back and who to support because every side on Jersey like has its issues. So it's like you can't really confidently back anyone.
I mean, I agree with that. And this season, we're going to get a lot of movement. I don't know who Rachel Fuda came out swinging as, but she has stepped into her own and she's like, you got a problem with me, Jen Fessler? I think you're a rat. You have no loyalty. You're not a good friend. Teresa, I think you're thirsty. My husband over here, though, he's a real cool guy. You're using us for fame and attention. Meanwhile, John Fuda's out here creating an IMDb, and they're definitely doing all of the podcasts and stuff. Oh, by the way, do you know what happened with Namaste Bitches?
Well, I did see something. I don't know what happened, but is the podcast done?
I think it is.
Yeah,
And
I
I
heard
heard it
that
was something
too.
between Melissa Feaster and Louis, but I don't know.
Oh, I mean, it wouldn't
Not like
surprise
a
me.
hookup or anything. I mean, like, I
Yeah.
think that they had a disagreement.
I mean, Louis seems to have a lot of disagreements with a lot of different people and somehow, cause shit between anybody he comes in contact with almost basically at this point. So wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me.
Oof. And when I talked to her, Teresa was like, I want to turn this into a talk show. I want to do these things. And I'm so excited. And now I'm like, when I asked her back then, what's the difference between Namaste Bitches and Two Teas in a Pod? I guess the difference is that Two Teas in a Pod is still running.
Hey, yeah, I mean, I don't love Teddy, but I have to say, give him props. It is successful. So,
It is a success. All right, guys, before we get into the OC legal drama, meet your new ladies of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. These are our newbies. Of course, we still have Drew Sidora. Portia Williams is going to be in here. And we also have Kenya Moore. Shamia, you finally got your peach. Hopefully, she doesn't pull a Marlo and lose her peach, but she got one.
My thoughts exactly. I love Shamia. I think she's, been a very natural friend of on the show for many, many years. I think I heard maybe 10 seasons she's been appearing on. She is a genuine friend with a lot of the women in the group. She, has inserted herself into the drama and been a part of it, but doesn't come off as like thirsty or try hard, like she's trying to steal the spotlight. So I think it's a natural fit for her to join the cast. Now, I need to get your thoughts. Sheree Whitfield was not asked back. And I'm devastated. I think Sheree deserved to continue. Sure, she doesn't bring a lot of the drama, but she is just genuinely funny. She brings the one-liners. We all want to know where She by Sheree is going, if anywhere at all. What do you think about Sheree not coming back?
I understood getting rid of Sonya, right?
Oh, 100%.
I pretty much understood Marlo too. The problem that I have, like, if they were down to the, if I had to guess, I would imagine they were down to the wire between keeping She by Sheree or Drew Sidora. I think that with Drew Sidora's divorce and kind of following what life looks like after, I think maybe that was more of an appealing storyboard for her, especially because she is such great friends with Shamia and Portia. So it makes sense. But She by Sheree is also single, I believe. She throws great parties. She's messy as hell. And she's also friends with Portia and Kenya and them. So I guess the divorce took the precedence. Because if you think about which one's a more entertaining reality TV star, She by Sheree, it's like going on TikTok and seeing which one has more hashtags or tags. You know, like I would imagine Sheree has more iconic moments that would give her that. And she might have been more expensive. That too.
This is true. Yeah, no, I see all the reasons, but I still wish she would have come back over Drew. Drew just doesn't do it for me. She never has, even last season with the whole divorce. I don't know. But we also have Cynthia Bailey returning as a friend of too, which is exciting.
I'm so excited about that. I
Yeah.
think that Cynthia Bailey, where is my mouth today? I gotta do exercises before I come on here. But Cynthia Bailey, to me, is also Real Housewives of Atlanta, but she makes the perfect friend of because she is single. You know, we're not going to see her filming with a family. Her daughter's over in LA, being an influencer. She's kind of just doing her thing, and she makes a lot of sense to pop in, pop out, offer a moment. She's definitely great with the fashions, and she's a great voice of reason. And her reactions when she goes,
Or
Yeah.
that meme of her freaking out. I love Cynthia. I agree. Maybe not main cast member material at this point, but definitely friend of. That's what I love about the Atlanta ladies. You know, like they are authentically friends. I think they hang out off camera as well as on camera. I'm so excited to see Portia back. Portia versus Kenya, I mean, is the iconic feud. And let's be real, after last season, we needed some changes made. And I think they might have gotten it. I do wish Phaedra would be returning maybe after this next season of Married to Men. I think a lot of people want her to come.
Yeah.
And maybe these newbies will be bringing it too. I don't know. We'll see.
One of them is actually rumored to be Fallon's cousin too.
That's right. That's right. So with the Portia of it all, oof, yeah, that will be interesting.
And Portia, I know that she's probably so excited to step back into the spotlight. She's excited to grow her businesses, to be back on TV. Making this decision obviously was not an easy one for her because this is going to make her divorce such a pain in the ass. Every documented piece of footage of Portia will probably be subpoenaed into the court because he's already subpoenaing phone records, text messages, email conversations between her and producers, security footage. He's wanting to know what's going in, what's going out. If I were her, I wouldn't even be in that house when I film because I wouldn't know what's bugged in that house while I'm filming. And I wouldn't want those conversations. You know what I mean? Like when I did the whole Real Housewives of Miami, I went down and sat down with Katarina Mazeppa, Halleck, maybe Hochstein soon. I don't know. When we talked, there's an accusation between the four of them or the three of them, whatever, of also spying on the other one. And I believe that there was some, I'm not sure. I don't know the story, so I'm going to be careful, but it happens. And when people are trying to figure out things to benefit them, especially after a divorce, most people are not friends. So if he has to go into the trenches to make sure that she doesn't walk away with all of his stuff and make sure that he doesn't trash her or trash him, he's going to do that.
Oh yeah, I know, but he has his own allegations against himself too. Like what's come out about him is that he's a fraud. He's used fraudulent names and he's going to get deported. So, I don't know. Eh, I it's so
Portia,
messy. It's so
Portia,
messy.
Portia did good not having a baby with this guy.
Yeah, I think she got out. I mean, I don't think it's any, I think she said like, the accusations against him weren't the reason why she left, but they came out like at the exact same time. So I'm not sure I believe that, but it's very, very messy. I don't know if she's even really going to be able to talk super openly about him because of the legal situation that they're in. You know what I mean? So I don't know how much we're going to actually be able to see.
I think she's probably going to address him like Lala addresses
Randall.
Randall
Yeah.
with some just like third party name. But also, would this not be some Black China, Tyga, Kylie Jenner, Rob Kardashian shit if Fallon was recently photographed with Portia's baby daddy? So if Fallon got with him and then she became little baby Pilar's stepmom, Portia took Fallon's man and now she's divorcing him. This is some ish.
Yeah, so messy. And then there was even like a photo of Sheree with Simon. I think going around a couple weeks ago, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, Sheree's with Simon now." I didn't see it that way, but
I don't
gosh,
think she'd do
I
that.
mean, these women.
These women. Okay, well, speaking of fraud, fraudulence, just the fakery, the fuckery, and every other thing that starts with an F, maybe, I'm not quite sure. I have to get into the boy of it all, Ryan, from the Real Housewives of Orange County, guys. We are going to briefly touch on his legal snafu, however you want to call it. So if you guys are not caught up on this, let me just kind of keep this short and simple. Ryan, there's an MLB player, and the MLB player has an interpreter. The interpreter was stealing money upwards to something about like 16, 17 million dollars out of the MLB players' accounts, like 100,000 at a time, 500,000 at a time, stealing this money out of the accounts and gambling the money away. Well, one of the transfers, I believe if I have this right, and Kim can correct me if I'm wrong, one of the transfers made its way to Ryan. Now, Ryan said he's not a bookkeeper, a bookie, a bookkeeper, a bookmaker. He's not any of that. And he's also fully cooperating with the feds right now in exchange for what they're saying immunity. So Tamara Judge, of course, was going to talk about this on Two Teas in a Pod. And OC also picked up cameras to cover it themselves, just like with Beverly Hills and Vanderpump Rules. Now, Tamara said, "This terrifies me. I didn't know I signed up for Mob Wives. I thought I signed up for the Real Housewives of Orange County." And it's like, relax, Tamara. Like, you've done some more. Tammy Sue? I don't think so, girl. I know you're not afraid of him all of a sudden getting a wire transfer as if this is some new concept in Orange County, as if a lot of people aren't fraudulent over there. Oh, sorry, Kim. sorry.
Yeah, hey, I'm offended.
No, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I mean, when I heard about again, this guy has been sketchy from the beginning, but this is a totally different track than we thought he was going to take. We thought maybe he was going to cheat. They were never going to commit. We know they've got engaged. And now this comes out. I mean, and then we see Tammy Sue as they pick up cameras in an FBI hat. She's ready to investigate. She is ready to talk about it. I kind of love it though, because this is shady. This is super shady. And especially someone that they talked about all last season that like, there's issues with this guy. Are you sure you want to move forward with him? They said it time and time again. And Jen like backed him up and was like, I want to be with him. I don't know. Do you think that he's guilty of this? What is your intuition? Do you think that he's involved in the way that they're alleging?
Well, I guess obviously we all know that the court will figure that one out, but I think that when everything was happening with Jen Shah and I sat down with her, I saw her with her kids, with her husband, and I'm such a Cancer, like I want to see the good in everybody. And when she was crying to me saying, "Adam, I did not do this," I looked at her like, Elle Woods in Legally Blonde through the glass when she's like, I didn't murder my husband. And she's like, I know you didn't. I'm a Delta Delta new, and I got you, girl. And I, like I kind of got sucked in for a second because like I want to believe that you wouldn't do these things, right? So then over here you have Ryan, and I guess the point that I was getting to is when I was talking to Emily D. Baker throughout that whole thing and her getting ready to go to trial, Emily kept reassuring me that the feds are not going to bring you in if there's not something, if you don't have something to do in cases like these. Like in these sorts of cases, they really have their ducks in a row before they start pulling people. And that leads me to believe that there has to be some sort of responsibility lying on Ryan's shoulders if the feds did in fact pull him in and negotiate an immunity deal for his cooperation. Now, for Jen, though, I saw where she did a TikTok and she said, my daughter had to stay home from school today. She complained about a bad back, but when she was complaining about her bad back, here she is gaming. And can I tell you guys how disgusting this is? This is when it goes too far. And then all of a sudden she pans over to her daughter and she's like, what did you just say, Everly? And she goes, Mom, what's the mob? And she's like, do you see this? Because Tamara said the mob wives comment. And I'm like, Tamara called you like 10 times worse things on that show, right? 1. 2, you chose to be a public figure on The Real Housewives. 3, the guy is a walking red flag, and you're the one choosing to now, knowing what you know, continue to bring him around your children. None of this falls on Tamara's lap. These are all Jen Pedranti decisions. You know what I mean?
I agree with you 100%. I mean, it's like the same thing with Teresa and Louis. Louis has all of this shit surrounding him, but Teresa is choosing to back it up and stuff like that. And so Jen needs to just back this up. This isn't about Tamara. This is about you. I think you need to be more defending your man than coming for Tamara, because this is sketchy. This is sketchy to everybody, not just Tamara. Tamara met with the group, I think it was Heather, Alexis, and Emily. When they picked up cameras, they showed them at the rooftop, I think in Laguna Beach. And I'm sure the rest of the group was also talking shit and being like, what the hell? What the hell is going on with Ryan? Is this true? Talking about the article. So I think that she's just kind of reaching, trying to divert the attention to Tamara instead of it being about Ryan, because let's be real, Ryan is the problem here, not Tamara.
Well said. Well said, Kim. Thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the platform to speak my thoughts.
Speak on it. Well, Kim, I think that we've pretty much covered everything. All of these topics. We lasted about 50 minutes, which I'm not surprised because I feel like we always last about that time. Guys, I think it's because I haven't been drinking coffee and I went back to coffee today because now I feel like my tongue is trying to move 10 times faster than what my face wants it to move.
It's okay, Ryan. We forgive you. We forgive you.
Yeah. Thanks. Kim, if they don't know, we're going to start with your Instagram. Will you let them know where we can find you?
Yes, of course. Follow me at Bravo Breaking News on Instagram. Again, I'm going to the Something About Her opening next week, so make sure you follow. I'll be posting all about it. I'm so excited. There's the menu. Check it out. Let me know what I should order because I'm so excited. You can also follow me and subscribe on YouTube. We are recapping Vanderpump Rules and breaking down all the Bravo headlines. And yeah, thanks for having me, Adam.
Yes, of course. And also, guys, let me see if I can bring this up. I just wanted to tell you guys that tonight, let me see. Okay. Tonight I am taking my mother-in-law out to dinner because she's been so helpful throughout this move. We were just at Lamar's the other night. I couldn't figure out, by the way, who that girl is that I was standing next to.
Danny?
She was so sweet. I kept wanting to call her Taylor.
That is not Taylor, Adam. That is Danny.
Thank you. Okay. So I couldn't figure out who, but Danny is an absolute sweetheart. And she said, she's like, we met before. I believe we met. And I said, I don't think we've met. And Jason said, yeah, last time you guys met. And I was like, oh, fuck. Just kidding. Danny, not Taylor. But no, super sweet. Guys, I will be at Lamar's tonight with my mother-in-law. So if you guys are in Charleston, come by and say hi. I'll be there around like 8:30 or something like that. But you can also just message me on Instagram. I'm going to start going out in these Charleston streets and seeing what the fuss is about. So if you guys are around, then I'll see you on King Street.
I love it so much. I have been to Bourbon and Bubbles. Leva was nice enough to treat me and my husband to champagne.
Oh,
So
wow.
next time I am in town, I will be at Lamar's.
It's a date. Okay. All right, Kim, have a beautiful weekend. Have a calm weekend, a relaxing weekend. Sending you all the love, guys. If you have not subscribed to Kim's YouTube channel, go get subscribed. If you're not following her on Instagram, I don't know what you're waiting for, and wait for all of the Something About Her updates. Smash that like button, show some love, and we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.